everybody, and welcome back to the Blu-ray Hunter. I'm the Blu-ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and we've got a fun show for you guys. We're going to be talking about the my thoughts on basically Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you guys are having fun and being with your family and doing amazing things. Eating lots and lots of turkey. That would be my hope for you guys. But also we're going to be talking about my trip I just went on because I haven't had a chance to really kind of recap it and talk about the craziness of it. So if you saw a few videos, I put out a few shorts on YouTube. Uh, I've never really done that before. I did it like once before. So this was like so there's only like four shorts that we have. I want to sort of get into doing more of those at some point, but just like and I do have some content I can put on for those shorts, so you might see more of those, especially if I don't have anything pretty figured out of what I want to do. I'll just upload some stuff like that. Um, but I don't really see much difference in engagement and other stuff on them, so it's just if I have a short, I'll put them up, you know. So how was my trip? So we started off. Interestingly enough, before I even left to move to go there, we went to Richmond, and I wanted to check out Guar Bar. I don't know if you've ever been to Guar Bar, or if you know anything about Guar, the rock band, but they have a bar in Richmond called Guar Bar, and you can go in there, and it's owned by the guy who is Ballsack from Guar, so it's really cool. It's really nice to just be in that like environment. Sorry, did not mean to shoot a bunch of those things. Get out. I don't know what to do. All right. Anyway, that's why I hate Zoom. Um, so we did Guar Bar. And then the next day, my dad and I flew out to California. And yes, we had no problems getting there, and we had no problems getting back. People were trying to make big deals right before and everything, and I didn't like that. Like I didn't like people telling me, trying to put fear into me before I flew. But I guess there was a lot of that out there. Um, so we went to California on the 3rd. Yeah, it was 3rd of November, and we came back on the 10th. So basically 13 days. No, not 13. What the hell? That's not right. 10 days. 10 days. And my math is not mathing. And then after that, we went to like the first place that we went to before we checked into our apartment was we wanted to check out Venice Beach. It was on the way back from like on the way to the apartment from LAX. So we went and checked out Venice Beach, walked around. I did a video where I showed off the Romeo and Michelle high school reunion apartment that's on Venice Beach. Then we checked out Muscle Beach and all that fun stuff. Took a lot of pictures. There's so many pictures I haven't even posted. There's way too many. And then we drove our rental car to the apartment. Got checked in. Everything worked out. We went to the apartment. It was a really, really nice place. I think I showed it off on Blu-ray Hunter. Like the Instagram. So check out the Instagram. There's a lot of cool content on there. Um, so that was awesome. Then I'm gonna kind of tell you guys piece by piece because this was pretty cool. Like my dad had this whole thing sort of worked out, like an itinerary for basically every day. So just bear with me while I kind of talk about that. I'm gonna talk about it and then have more thing. But yeah, it just says for our thing here was we did all the oceanfront walk for Muscle Beach and all that other stuff. So we did all that stuff. Then we drove to our Hollywood accommodation. And after that, we went to go eat at the first, um, what is it? The the oldest, I think it was the oldest Italian restaurant in LA. And it was called Michelli's, and it was actually right by our hotel, like in walking distance. We were walking past it to go to like Hollywood Boulevard because we were like literally in Hollywood. So we went over there, ate. My dad was not impressed by it. I thought it was okay. I didn't like the because we had a pizza and we were like, eh. And then the pizzas, the crust was a little too just not our style. I wonder what other stuff they would have had that might have been good, but we only went once. Um, they also had a no cell phone policy, which I've never seen in a place. They did not want cell phones. They didn't take your cell phone or anything, but I mean, I guarantee you they would have said something if we like looked at our cell phones. Though, then again, I did see some people with cell phones. I don't know. Um, we ended up going to Hollywood Boulevard and walking around, and that was pretty cool. Then we came back to the hotel or the apartment. It wasn't a hotel, it was an apartment. It was a really good deal because it was a two-bedroom apartment, with two baths. And so it was perfect. Um, then we went to, and we found it on booking.com, just so you know. So then we went to, the next day was a Hollywood day. So was that the no, the next day. Yeah, the next day were all the views and stuff. So thank God my dad gave me a little bit of a break. But the first day, like the first real day that we were there, that full day, was Tuesday. And we went to Bullfinger's office. We went to the Clark Street Diner and ate breakfast there and met up with my friends Lauren, Parkinson, and Rich Gordon. So we all met up, had breakfast. It was really nice. We got to chat about movie stuff, and since I'm a filmmaker too, we were just chatting about that stuff. And they're both filmmakers and actors and wonderful people. And then we went to the Zim's office and get Shorty. We looked at the supply sergeant, but it wasn't open. And it closed down. We went to the Grauman Chinese Theater. We walked all the way down like Hollywood Boulevard, took pictures. Everything was fun. Um, the Walk of Fame, obviously, Sunset Tower. And that was it. Um, and I think I didn't meet up with anybody that night, other than Lauren and Rich earlier. I did not meet up with anybody. So there you go. Wednesday was Hollywood Hills, and that was the early day. We actually went to um that was a very early day. That was like 5 o'clock in the morning. We woke up and then we went there. We wanted to get up before the sun rose and stuff, and that was at like 6. So we had to get up before then, and that was not fun for me. I was wanting to sleep in. But we went, did it, and then it was fun when I went to do it. We got there and no, where they had us go in the GPS, they didn't have it was weird. Like they didn't have what is it called? The gate didn't open, so nobody came up and no guards came to the gate and opened it up. So we started going around where to get out of there, and we noticed that because we wanted to see the Hollywood sign. And we would later come to find out we see the Hollywood sign everywhere. It was fucking all the places. So we went there, and we saw the Hollywood sign, and we saw a wild coyote. We got to get it at the sign at a park. Got a really good picture of it at a park. and then to um we went to so that was at Lake Hollywood Park. Then we went to the Griffith Observatory in the morning, and we didn't have to pay anything because if you get there before 10, you don't have to pay apparently. So we didn't have to pay for parking. So we went up and started looking at all the cool sights and everything there at the Griffith Observatory. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. We went back to the Griffith Observatory another day, but I think I'll get to that maybe. Um, then we went to Rick's house from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Alta View Drive in Studio City. Um, and that was it for that day, I think. I want to say, no, yeah, that was Wednesday. No, Wednesday was even busier because we ended up going to the La Brea Tar Pits. Well, we went to eat at this rooftop place. Then we went to, it wasn't very good. It's okay. Then we went to later we got to meet at the La Brea Tar Pits and met up with my friend Nicole H6, who I love to death. Then we went to then we had to like hightail it home for a little bit, get dressed, and then we went to an Italian restaurant that my friend Christina had picked out. And I met up with Christina, her husband, and the kids. And my dad was there. So we all had dinner together. But what I realized was that place is Palermo's Italian restaurant was right by the God, there's a swingers place. It was awesome. So we went to the eat dinner. It was a fantastic dinner. We had a fun time. Then we were parked right next to the what's it called? Shoot, you're gonna kill me because you're gonna mad because I can't think of titles of places right now, and we don't have it listed because that the Dresden. So we went to the Dresden, and it was awesome. Like it was just incredible. And the guy there, the owner of the Dresden, and I'm hoping to get the pictures from the Dresden thing from my dad, and I can post them soon on Instagram and stuff. But my the owner of the Dresden had been there since the filming of Swingers and stuff, and his son also worked, but his son was like a kid during Swingers, so didn't really wasn't there for that or anything. But he showed a little tour of the place, and it was awesome. So then I couldn't get it on video. He did not want to be videoed, and I totally respect that. So we went, I sat at the seat that all the guys sat at, and then I went, to home and met up with my friend Lila, who was meeting up with me that night, my former roommate. And we hung out and walked around Hollywood Boulevard and hung out and just chatted, just reconnected because we hadn't literally seen each other in forever. It was such a crazy time. Then yeah. What else? So then that was all Wednesday. So Wednesday is over. Thursday was a big day too. Um, I'm not even like close to being done yet. So sorry, guys. You're like, oh man, do I really have to hear all this? You don't have to. You can turn it off. I don't care. I'm gonna keep doing this because also it's for me to look back at and be like, oh shit, I remember that. So November 6th, that was Thursday. Our focus was historic core and landmarks in downtown LA. Uh, we went to Union Station. We went to the Denny's behind Union Station for Driver. And then we ended up going to the Bradbury Building. Um, we went to the Grand Central Market and met up with G. Larry Butler. Had lunch with him at Sarita's Pulperia from La La Land. I ended up watching La La Land for the first time with my dad, like after. Uh, eh, was not my cup of tea. Let's just say that. But it was cool. The places that were there were pretty cool that they showed off. We did the Angels flight from La La Land. It was pretty neat. We realized we really needed them because there's a lot of walking and it really hurt after a while. Um, we After that we went to the Biltmore Hotel where they shot the interior lobby for Ghostbusters, where it was I forgot what it was called, the Sedgwick Hotel. But it's really the Biltmore Hotel in Hollywood. And so we got to see the ballroom scene, even though we weren't really supposed to be there because they were filming something and there were people around. I even accidentally knocked over a light that I just did not see. Um, and the guy picked it right back up and kind of looked at me, and I was like, ah, sorry. But they didn't like, nobody kicked us out and said, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Because they weren't actually like shooting something at that particular scene or anything there. They were at another area in the hotel. Um, so then we went to the last bookstore in Los Angeles or whatnot. Um, we went to um the Orpheum Theater. Went through the Second Street Tunnel, which was in Blade Runner. We did a lot of stuff from Blade Runner because was it Bradbury Building was also there, and so was Union Station. And then we also went to Chinatown, and we went to the Blossom Restaurant from La La Land. Next door were like the Red Lanterns and stuff. And then we went to the Royal Pagoda Motel where Emma, um, what the fuck, remember people's names? Emma Stone was. And then let's see, oh my goodness. So then we did all that. And I think that was at the end of the day is that stuff at the thing. And I think a lot of days we still went to like Hollywood Boulevard and walked around because um we went and walked around Hollywood Boulevard because there was a we were right there and like we had our own like little bodega that we went into and we would buy like little whatever nooks and crannies we needed. But if we needed like soda or something, we went to the 7-Eleven that was right across the street. And so it was really funny because like it felt like being at home with the 7-Eleven there. All right, so that was Thursday. Friday was all beach day. So we went to Santa Monica, or we first went to Point Dume or Dume. I'm not sure how you pronounce it exactly. That had the Planet of the Apes, Big Lebowski. That was the scene where the Big Lebowski like throws the ashes and it like flies right back in his face or whatever. Um, we went to there was a lot of places in Santa Monica. We went to the Santa Monica uh pier, which my dad had never been on, so he was walking around. I think maybe he had been, but I don't think he had been. So we were walking around. That was really fun. Um, we went to the was it the South Parking Garage number 8, with from Terminator 2. We ended up doing a lot of Terminator 2 stuff, so get ready for that. We went to the Gregorian Hotel, Georgian Hotel, from Get Shorty and whatnot. The Frank Gehry house, which is fucking amazing. Such a cool place. We went to uh let's see, the Arrow Theater. That was pretty neat. Got a picture of that. Um, and I went to Barnes and Noble and picked up a Criterion there. So that was that for Friday. One of those days we actually went at night to yeah, so we finished Thursday. I forgot to mention this. I ended up going with Rich and Lauren, meeting up with them at Bigfoot Lodge for a independent film meetup. And I'm glad I did. It was fun. It was enjoyable. I got to meet some people I normally would not have met or whatever. So it was cool. But then Friday, I think we ended up going Friday night, we ended up going up to um we wanted to try some of the other uh overlooks, but they were like closed. So we went up to the Griffith Observatory and my dad wanted to take night shots, and stuff. I really had no interest in that, but I did it anyway. Um, let's see. So Saturday we did all the valley stuff. So we went to Karate Kid Apartments, which were in Reseda. We went to John Connor's house. Cool story with that is the woman who owns the John Connor house saw us taking pictures, and I was like, oh God, she's like gonna call the cops or something, even though like she can't, like we're not really doing anything, whatever. But I still felt like, awkward, and everything. And as she's driving away, she waved at us and said hi, and we're like, whoa, that's like the first time that's ever happened, and that was the only time that ever happened when we were there. Most people were not happy with us because like we are in their way or something, or whatever. Which we really weren't, but people made, you know, it was what it was. But anyway, so we went down there. So John Connor's house, that was in Winnetka, California. Then we went to, this is not in order, so because we actually kind of broke up the order a little bit, but I'm just gonna read where these were, and stuff, and not give you the actual order because we did change it up a little bit because some places were not open yet, like including the pawn shop from Pulp Fiction, because my dad wanted to leave early and we left at like 9 and stuff, or eight or nine, and I was like, oh my God, no, nothing's really open right now, so we can't do anything until like 10 or whatever. So, Pulp Fiction, we did the pawn shop, and I bought a bunch of DVD or Blu-rays that you're gonna find out on the Blu-ray Hunters Blu-ray haul. That's gonna be coming up next, in a couple days, in a few days. Um, We went to the picture car warehouse from Drive. No interest in that. It was just a warehouse with people in it. It did not look cool to me. Didn't care for it. Um, we went to the alley parallel to Brosco Boulevard off Wakefield. What was that for? Um, I'm not sure what that was for. I don't even think we did that. Oh, there's the T2 alley. Yeah, I don't think we ended up doing that. Anyway, or we like chose not to because we couldn't find it. We ended up going to the Vincenzo's Pizza from Drive. That was pretty cool. It was Nino's Pizza from Drive, but it's actually called Vincenzo's. We went to the Terminator 2 bridge. That's Havenhurst Avenue and Plummer Street. That was pretty cool. We went to the T-1000 chase scene out of the mall, where he hijacks the truck and stuff. That was pretty neat. But it was kind of like you couldn't really see it because everything's changed so much. We went to the possible motorcycle jump location from T2. We went to the T2 start of the motorcycle jump location. I think we only did one of them. Um, and then we did the T2. We tried to go to the T2 biker bar, I think. Whenever yeah, so I think we did that, and it was now like if I'm correct, it was now like a library. So like all of that's gone. And so like my dad was taking all these pictures and I was like, what are you taking pictures of? It's not the same. It's like gone now. Like you can tell people, oh yeah, this was the spot, but like you can't tell. So I don't know. Um then let's see. We went to Sarah Connor's prison. That's where I felt very uncomfortable because there were people like it was literally right across the street from like residential area. So like we were parked at a residential area and people kept kind of looking at us like, "What are you doing?" Um. Then we went to the Van Nuys High School. Oh, before all that, I brought him to Van Nuys, and showed him my old apartment that I used to live in, the first apartment I lived in with Lila. And so we did that, and it's a cute little apartment. I miss it. It was nice to have for the first time there. Then, and it was really nice because like there used to be like a really bad homeless situation over in that area. And when we got back, there was like nobody there. So they cleaned that area out pretty good. Um, and then I weirdly enough saw a Jurassic Park truck. So it's kind of cool. There's somebody with a Jurassic Park sticker like that looked like, the sticker that they have on their trucks and stuff. So it's pretty neat. And then we went to eat at a incredible restaurant that I like. It's a ramen restaurant over there, that I used to eat at with Paul when Paul came to visit. When he first came to visit with me, like when I was moving to LA to Van Nuys, in 2020, we had to find something to eat. So we looked around and we walked around and we saw this nice little restaurant and a ramen restaurant we could walk to. So we walked over to it and ate lunch, and we were like, this is really neat. It was good. Um, all right. So after that, we went to Van Nuys High School. That was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And then we ended up going to, did I Okay, I forgot to mention this earlier when we went to Santa Monica. We went to the when we went to Santa Monica, I believe was it Santa Monica? Yeah. We ate lunch at Ray's, which is a um Churro Mance. It's the Churro Mance place, restaurant and stuff. So we ate there. That wasn't Thursday, that was Friday. Uh So Ray's restaurants from Tromance, Bowfinger, a bunch of other places. I like the food, but my dad's a tough critic, I guess. This trip. Um, I know one of the times that we came back from the time that we went to, because I had to do a lot of walking with him for I think it was Saturday or so, but whatever day it was, we had to do a lot of walking, and we went to, um, what is it? We went up to, um, crap. Griffith Park again, right, at night. And when we came back, because we had a park far away and everything, when we came back, I was tired. I was like, I want some food. I want something good. I want something I've been dying to try out. So let's go get some tacos at Trejo's Tacos. That's Danny Trejo's taco place. And my dad said that was the best taco he's ever had, but he was complaining on the way going there because it was a bitch to get there and stuff, from where we were. But we got it. We found it. We were happy, after we ate our food. And he said that was the best taco he's ever had. So there you go. Um, so we did that. Sunday, it says free flex day. It was not a free flex day. It was a busy ass day. We went to the Broad Museum. No, first of all, we went to the Academy of Motion Pictures Museum. Awesome, amazing. I saw the Jaws exhibit. It was just incredible. Got so many pictures of that. Then we went to the Peterson Automotive Museum, and that was a blast. And I got to see so many different cars, including Baby from Supernatural, the DeLorean, Batman from 1989's Batman, Batmobile, um, the Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine. Those are all the movie ones. There's also other like really cool looking ones as well. Then we went to the Broad Museum, which was an art museum. Not my favorite, but it was interesting. There was some cool, really cool stuff, but it wasn't my cup of tea. And then that well, let's see. We went to the Los Angeles City Hall. Um, I think that was it. No, we had already done that. We had done City Hall, at during downtown stuff. So we'd already knocked that out. I think that was it though. After that, yeah, I want to say that was it for Sunday. Um, I don't remember what we did after that. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention we went to Pat and Lorraine's at the last thing for Saturday, and that was where Reservoir Dogs, the scene with them, and they were so happy because they saw my Reservoir Dog shirt. They're like, "Do you want to sit where they sat?" Okay, and I couldn't sit exactly where they sat because those tables are gone. Those tables are like circular, but the tables they had were like square, rectangle, circle ones. Um, all right. So we're on to the last couple days, so just bear with me. Um, so we checked out of the room on Monday, checked out of the apartment, and um, we went to the John Connor's entrance to T2 drain ramp, and that was pretty cool. But then we had nothing to do. And our new place that we were checking into, which was the Safari Inn from True Romance, was a um wasn't like checked in. We couldn't check in yet. We our plan was to find something else to do, and my dad said, "Do you want to do the Paramount tour, the studio tour?" And I was like, yeah." So we went to the studio tour and got like it was quick. My dad got the tickets. We got there, and then we got a little like name tag thing, like a little thing to put around our necks showing that we're on the tour. I thought that was pretty cool. And it said our names on it, which was pretty neat. The Warner Brothers one did not say our names. And we got to walk around and we had a really cool tour guide and it was awesome. It was 2 hours of time kind of killed. And then so we were done about, I want to say we were done there around 1, maybe? No, we must have been later. It must have been 2 o'clock or so. But then we went straight to the Safari Inn, but they weren't ready for us to check in yet. And we had something to do at uh we had something to do at what time was it like 5 or so or 3 something. It was 3 something. So we had something to do and so we had to actually we had to wait and then check in, and then we had to haul ass to the Vista Theater, and there was problems parking and figuring out a place to park. And we went to the Vista Theater, which is owned by Tarantino, and we went to see uh the new Richard Linklater movie. Now, I forgot to mention it. One of the days, I think it was Sunday. I want to say it was Sunday. We had nothing to do at night, right? So my dad was like, let's watch a movie and stuff. And I was like, well, what are we gonna watch? So we got there around 6 o'clock at the Chinese, because he wanted to do the Chinese Grauman Theater. And so he picked a movie that was, um, he picked Predator, Badlands. And, and he was like, okay, and he was like, oh, this sounds like an IMAX 3D movie. So it's very expensive. So we went up and upstairs we sat down and we started watching this movie, put on our 3D glasses. We were excited. All of a sudden the movie starts, things start happening, and boom, our like chair starts moving and we're like, what the fuck? And then air starts popping up at our hands. My dad's like, ooh, like what's going on here? And he kind of like sort of enjoys it, you know, and everything. And we watched the the Predator Badlands movie with this thing is called MX4D. So it's like a 4D experience, which is really cool because they get into a lot of fights, and then like if they get their butt kicked, you get your butt kicked. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. My dad seemed to enjoy it too, but it doesn't seem like something he'll ever really want to do again. It's just something like he was happy that he did it, you know, got that experience. And it started making me think, is that like where our theaters are gonna go to where you feel like you're actually in the movie with the people. So then we did the Richard Linklater movie on Monday, and that was great. That was a lot of fun, and it was a good movie, and it's on Netflix. It's called like Nouvelle Vague. Um, Great movie. It's about the French New Wave. Um, then we went back to Safari Inn and relaxed and crashed for the night. Then Tuesday we got up and went to the Warner Brothers tour. And it was nice. My dad got like the studio tour, so the big one. So it's you get a normal 2 hour tour, and then you get like some extras and stuff. And it was really fun. I felt like a know-it-all. And I did not like that because the guide was asking questions and I did not want to like at first I rose my hand and I answered it, and that was the most fun question, which was we were passing by the New Line and he said, "Do you know what the first movie that put New Line cinemas on the map was?" And nobody knew, and I said, and he goes, "Yes, you." And I said, Nightmare on Elm Street." He was like, "Yes, that's it's the the studio that Freddie built, or whatever." And then he was talking about somebody mentioned Elf. Wasn't that a New Line movie? And they were like, "Oh yeah, that's a New Line movie. It's the same company that made Annabelle." So my first thing was Elf versus Annabelle, and everybody laughed. And then the guide was like, "I'd watch that." So we walked around. He showed us all the different sites. Like the Paramount store tour, we got a lot of back lots and front lots and all this stuff and props and cool stuff that you were able to take pictures of. And just some things you're not allowed to take pictures of because if they're shooting something new, they don't want pictures of it or they don't want pictures of the sets because it might show off something that, they're planning to do next season or something. So they just don't want you to do that, but that's fine. Like, just tell me what not to do, and I'll make sure to do the ones I'm allowed to shoot. And so I got to shoot out, one cool thing was do line cinema, seeing the office and things like that. Then after the tour was done, we got to eat lunch at like this area where they had like we got a free food, a free meal. And so we got to eat um the food there and then we ended up and it was like at a friend's style like cafe, which was pretty cool. And then we got to walk around and do some more. There was some more stuff there, but we could do it at our own pace. We didn't need to like be hounded by a tour guide. Um, and so I got to see the Big Bang Theory couch and sit on that. I got to see the friend's couch, sit on that. I got to knock on Penny's door. I got to see all these different Harry Potter stuff and cool things like that. And then and find out how sound was made and things like that. Then I went to then we got to go to they brought us over to where they have all the rest of the prop stuff for all the Batman and Harry Potter and things like that, all the franchises and stuff, all the Batmobiles and different things like that. So we got to go there, and then we went to Lord, this is a lot. So then we were done. That was it. We got to go to they end up at you end up at the last place that you're at is the gift shop. And so we bought some gift stuff there, and then I bought like stickers and stuff. That was my main thing. I want to bring stickers home and put them on my car. Um, Then we went to what else? After that, I went to show my dad uh San Gabriel, which was like Pasadena area. It wasn't too far away. So we went down there, showed him my the house, the last house I lived in LA and everything, the last apartment. And we went up to my 7-Eleven that was right up my street that I would always go to. I don't know if I ever walked there, but like I could have. Um, and so I did that, and then yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, that's we did all that. Oh, and then we got back to Burbank. That's where we're staying. And I went to this we went to the Safari Inn and relaxed for a little bit. But then after like an hour of relaxing, we went to visit my friend Ama, who she has a store that's like a killer, it's called Killer Fitness. And it was really cool. I got to take a couple pictures in there and stuff and whatnot. And then we chat with her for a while. Her and my dad got along because they're both from the east, well, obviously East Coast, but like, more toward like Maine area and stuff. And then my dad and I went to my favorite cafe restaurant, which was Priscilla's in Burbank, and hung out for a little bit, chatted, before we were eating Big Boy, Bob's Big Boy with my buddy Ramsey, who met up with us, and we chatted and had a good time. And that was a really crowded day. He was surprised about that. And then we went back home and got ready. Got to get up in the morning and went back home. And that was it. That was the craziest adventure I've ever had, doing every single thing imaginable. Like I said, I think I did this mainly for myself because I really wanted to like look back and be like, what did I do on that trip? And then be like, oh yeah, I talked about it on the my thoughts on Thanksgiving special. So it was a great time. I'm planning to come back to LA in January 11th, 2027. That's a little whiles away. I'm hoping that that happens. Um, it will be my 45th birthday, and it's not because it's my 45th or anything. It's like literally just because it's over a year from now. It could be my 43rd, and I wouldn't care. I think I did go on my 43rd birthday, but no, my 42nd birthday. My 43rd is right now. Um, so it was a lot of fun. Like I had an absolute blast. I already miss LA. Um, I miss all my friends who were there. I can't wait to see them again. Um, all my friends wanted me to meet their cats. Did not get a chance to do that at all. I do plan to meet Trouble, which is my friend Nicole's cat at some point for sure. Um, I just, I love this and had a blast. I really loved walking down Hollywood Boulevard at night or in the day or whenever, it just was fun. Um, I don't know. It's weird because, when I lived there, of course, I didn't want to do any of that stuff. I didn't want to do any tourist stuff. Oh, I forgot to mention one of the days, I think it was Tuesday, because we had a lot of time. I took a walk and walked down to Amoeba Records and the pop store. So I went to both places and I got a pop for my nephew to bring back as a gift. And he absolutely loved it. It was Mickey Mouse. And so it was nice. It's a nice time. Amoeba Records about a couple movies, and you'll see that. I'll talk about that on my Blu-ray Hunter haul for the end of the month. But that was little things. I was trying to remember little things that I forgot. But like I did so much. way too much probably. Um, but I had a fun time. It was a good time. I can't wait to go back. LA is probably my favorite city of anywhere. I mean, I don't know, I haven't really been to enough places, but like I think because it's Hollywood and it's the land of like what I love, um, if it weren't so damn expensive, I probably would have stayed, but it's tough. Um, I do plan to move back someday if I can. Um, so anyway, that's it. That's all that I can talk about right now. That's happening. But I love you all. Oh, there was another thing I want to talk about. So it's not just my thoughts on that was kind of cool, but I also want to say thank you guys. I'm very grateful. This is Thanksgiving. I want to say I'm very grateful for you guys. I'm very grateful for everything that you guys have helped me with. I really appreciate it. If it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't have a channel, you know. And so I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of this. This has just been a fun, this has been a fun year, for us here at the Blu-ray Hunter, and I'm planning to do more stuff. Next year, we're rebranding, so just get ready. There's going to be a lot more stuff, cool stuff going on. But I love you guys, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. And find out more. Find out what you guys do. You guys like LA? Do you guys not like LA? What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Are you guys watching any Thanksgiving movies like Blood Rage or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? More of the fun. It's not cranberry sauce, you know, blood freak, you know, whatever. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Talk to you soon. Let me know what you guys think. And I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving, whatever you guys want to call it. All right. Bye, everybody.